I'm quite offended. What I have had this week, and this I find quite offensive. I've left it on, so it's available. I'll see if I can find it, and then I'll show it to you as it is live, so to speak, on my comments feed. So if I go to dashboard. Now, I'm not sure people understand with YouTube what they're doing, but look at this. This is in the stats, and I'll bring it up on here. There you go. There. Right, look on there. So 5762. That's subscribers. That's good. This is my current short, which is doing okay. It's called Battery Blowout Danger, and if you've seen it, it's me saying, "Look what happened to this battery. It's dangerous. Be careful," or some words to that effect. And go to analytics. It says it's quite popular. Look, 2,500. I wish I could get a long form, but and it's earned me 16 pence, which is okay, I suppose. And going to subscribers, which is it really is good. Now, there's nothing wrong with my video. The battery did its thing on the table, but for some reason I got this comment come up on it. Lost Beagle, yeah, that's fine, and no 4H, it melted the table, yep, tablecloth, yep, that's fine, no problem with that. Have I got a filter on? Newest comments. Here we go. All right, John Cooper 6897. Now, you've put yourself on my things, so I have no qualms about calling you out on it. John Cooper 6897. 6 days ago, he comes up and says, "Absolute BS." I'm going to keep it down here so you can see how it goes. "Welcome to my don't recommend this channel list." So 3 thumb down. Back to the story. So absolute BS. Welcome to my don't recommend this channel list. I went and had a look at his channel because he's got a channel and he's got nothing on it. Although he's got 25 subscribers. That's interesting. So I said, "What's your problem with this video?" ? "This is the truth. Sorry if you have a problem with the truth." Because obviously he's being a bit bullshit here. And then he's come back and he said, "It's complete BS. We can clearly see the hung dent in one end where you have bashed it with a hammer or something. FFS." Now, I'm assuming FFS is for something's sake. But it could be flipping fried squid. I don't know. You should never use acronyms if you are talking to somebody, particularly if you're having to go, because you don't know if they understand it. But I'm assuming that's offensive, so, fine. And I don't have a I suppose I could click on the "I'm not impressed" button, but, what the hell. Then so I said to him, "You're completely wrong. The battery was placed on the table with 6 others, having removed them from a standard charger." It's actually a Uniross charger, just the standard time, not the magic ones that do all the monitoring, just a standard one. We then went to bed. The next morning, when I went into the kitchen, the tablecloth had a small melt hole in it, and the table protector foam was also holed. The table was blackened with 4 batteries, including this one on the floor. The mess, and it still is, nasty, as the black had covered other stuff on the table, including our wedding anniversary cards and the basket my wife had a knitting in. This battery completely discharged all the contents, including the structural mesh. There is no reason for me to lie about this. If I had bashed the battery, it would have made a much more spectacular video, and I would have said, "Look what happens when you bash the battery," as many YouTubers have. However, if you think you can see something that you did not happen, then that's up to you. So then he come back and said, "We can all see," because it's written it in capitals, "the deep semicircular indentation in one side of the negative end of the cell. I'd guess you struck it with a hammer or similar. However, you might also have squeezed it in a vice. That inwards force has caused internal short circuit between the plates in the cell, potentially causing the overheating event that you claim happened after that. We can also see the very obvious crush on the side of the cell too. Whilst your video doesn't show any evidence of the alleged explosion event, it clearly shows those 2 blatantly obvious and deliberate damages to the battery's casing." And he's put a little face on it. So I've said, bear in mind, I don't lie. I said, "Your answer says more about you than you realise." So he's come back and said, "I'm sorry for noticing your attempted deception of viewers. Bear in mind, this is a 12-second video, and it's just showing you a charred case. It's not trying to be spectacular, and I've just said, be careful what you do with your batteries, you know. So obviously, big deception going on here. So I said, I'll repeat my answer, and it's so sad. He did then come back with another one, which I don't know where that's gone. He's obviously taken that one off. So this is what's currently on there. And yeah, I'm going on about it because I am offended. And the reason I'm offended is because I have no reason to put up fake videos. I don't even have a reason, let me bring me back up. I don't even have a reason to put up fake videos about stuff that I do, let alone things that I don't do. The only videos I've ever put up are, if somebody wants to have an opinion, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you want to say cheese is wonderful, I'll tell you it's the food of the devil. Because to me, it's the food of the devil. Unless you put it in cheesecake, in which case it changes its total ability to be wonderful. But if you have a difference of opinion, if you tell me that NAD cassette decks are better than Nakamichi, and if I agree with you, that's fine. If I don't agree with you, that's also fine. I'd like to hear which decks you think are best. I'd like to hear which tapes you think are best. If you've got a point to argue like that, more than happy to engage. And I'll tell you, there's a comment put on my Chewing Tapes one. The guy said, you haven't mentioned this, and this, and this is likely to happen. And I've said, well, yeah, you're quite right. I didn't, because that wasn't what the video was aiming at. The video was aiming at just the occasional chew. It's the Chewing Tapes one. But I'm glad you mentioned that, because everything you said is true. It's not a problem. Anybody got anything to say like that, more than happy to listen. But I'm going to show you something now, because I do not like being called a liar. You can call me many things. I've been called many things over the years. A liar is not one of them. And I will tell you for why. Because I don't lie. What I do is I tell the truth at all times, which has got me in more trouble than lying might well have done. Let me just bring up something on here. And this is my reel, my photo reel. Now, you can tell that because it's got all the pictures I've been doing scanning of. If you're on my Facebook list, you'd know that. But anyway, what I want to show you here is this. Let's see what happens if I double click on this. Right, it gets bigger. That is the tip of a pencil, where the rubber goes. And that is the hole in the table covering. And I think you'll agree that's definitely a hole. If you don't agree there's a hole, well, we'll have a discussion about it, as I just said. That is the mesh that was inside the battery, except it wasn't inside the battery. And you can see that's the bit where it gets caught into the crimping on the positive end of the battery. That is the battery itself. And you can see there the dent he's referring to. Now, what you can't see there is, well, you can a bit, but you might do on the next picture, is, right, there's the heat damaged. Now, can you see where I've had it gripped in the vise? Because if you can, you're doing better than I can, because I didn't grip it in a vise. And you can see the explosive effect on this end. But anyway, so that's that. And then we click on this one. And there you can see, again, no vice marks, but you can see where the thing actually got hit. And you can see the explosion effect on the end there, and it's black. And let me show you this bit. Right, this is the dent he's referring to, where I supposedly hit it with a hammer. Now, I think I got a better picture than that. Let's have a look. Yeah, well, there's the other end, which, of course, I'd have had to have had in the vise as well, wouldn't I? If I'd hit this, there'd have been hammer marks on it, and there aren't any. this was on the table. Now, let me see. If I hold it there, push it forward, you should be able to see it. Now, that is the black. I tried dusting it off. But that was propped against the basket next to the knitting, and that is the battery carbon. So I don't know. The battery, it was dry powder that came out of it. But anyway, what I wanted to do is I wanted to just make sure that you guys did not have any reason to think that I was telling porcupines.